Welcome to the Young and the Restless, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Betts, and alongside...
I'm Extreme Rules Edwards, aka Jem.
You can listen to us every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. But if you want to join that wrestling conversation, head over to the Facebook group, Discord channel, Twitter's links are all in the description below. If you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to the Pop Culture. Nope, don't go there. Go to patreon.com/thepopculturist and support us at any dollar value tier thingy. Get yourself a nice little sneaky link. You can come chat with us and the likes of Killer, the likes of Dash, the likes of your friend Nathan.
Yes.
And maybe Mullet rocks up here and there. Yeah. And the potential is there.
Live.
Yeah, you watch it live, join the chats, have some funsies. But if you want to support us in more ones-off fashion, head over to thepopculturist.com/shop where you buy shirts like this.
Yeah.
And other supported shit with our logos on it. Now, I am in the process of organizing special, unique promo codes for those that are Patreons. So, we'll whip them some your way. So that way you can get some sweet Young and the Restless merch. We'll get you on some shirts.
Yes.
It's very important. Because, you know, now that you're part of the team, been part of the team for like fucking 3 months. Ain't shit about it. But there we go. What else? We are also on Twitch at twitch.tv/thepopculturist.
Yes.
Hi, man.
I've had a rough week, but I am good.
Yeah. Sorry to hear.
Yeah.
Bits of bad news in there.
Yeah, just a little bit, but it's part of life.
Yeah.
Pets, you know. How about you? How about you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm actually went over the sickness.
Yes.
I'm done.
He says. He said.
Like I'm right on that end part. Like I can breathe. Like.
How glorious is breathing?
Oh man,
you take it for granted,
dude. I forget how important breathing is until I like stop and I can't. And I was like, what's that old joke? It's like then you instantly regret all the times you forgot how important breathing was. Like,
yeah. You take it for granted.
All those times that my nose wasn't blocked and I just didn't consider it.
Yeah.
I wasted it.
And then now you're breathing freely. You're like,
Yeah, I'm back.
whole
It's
new
good.
world.
Man, it has been one effing busy weekend of wrestling.
Oh yeah.
So although you weren't here because
I was unwell.
circumstances, you were unwell. We watched the Fight for the Fallen, the AEW show here in the house. We had a big old brekkie.
Yep. Yeah, what I like to call the All Elite Breakfast.
Yeah, All Elite Breakfast was very good.
I'm so jealous. I was like at home, like with an upset stomach, like
I could be eating breakfast. Yeah, no, it was good. The show was solid. There was not a lot of. It wasn't as brilliant as the likes of Fighter Fest, or certainly not Double or Nothing.
Yeah,
I think this might.
They were only 2 weeks apart, though.
Yeah,
right?
I think this might be a more accurate representation of what we're going to see on TV.
Yeah.
So that's certainly not a. It's certainly not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It was just more of a.
Yeah.
You know, like when you've had 2 killer shows and then you've got your third, I think it may be an expectation thing on my part.
Yeah.
Like it was still certainly good, and you know,
and they set very high standards.
Yeah, and I think it's better than a lot of WWE stuff we've seen in recent times. So if I'm being probably a bit selfish there and being like, dude, it's not that good.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
Not because it was sort of a charity show. There was some storytelling stuff in there, but not a lot. It was mostly just big spot fests, which is fine. I wanted there to be a bit more, I guess. So, like the Young Bucks Cody and the Young Bucks Rhodes match, pretty sweet. Couple of things there were pretty, like stuff we sort of saw at Fighter Fest, like the just some of the stuff that was in sync, like in sync shooters and stuff like that, which was fine. Dash mentioned in the chat Kenny versus Shima. I don't fucking know who that guy was, but it was pretty solid. I enjoyed it. It was tough not knowing who the other guy was because I'm like, I guarantee you Kenny's gonna win because Kenny lost the other one. So like it makes sense, like Kenny's gonna win. So they're about, if they are about to head into TV in the next 3 months, they're just lining up those last couple of things ahead of All Out, because in All Out we've got Kenny versus Mox. So it's like you can't have Kenny lose to this random fuck. And I'm saying that though, I'm sure this guy has a massive legacy, but I don't know it, therefore random fuck. So you want him to at least be mildly strong going up against Mox. So because as of right now, Mox has won his unsanctioned match.
Yeah,
he's
champion
decked a
too?
bunch of people. He held the belt in Japan. I believe he may have lost it or gave it up. And he just won 2 matches in the G1.
Yeah.
Like he's looking great. looking great. Saying that though, I still think Kenny's one of the safest people in AEW, only because I would consider him and the likes of Jericho, I guess, as they are AEW's legends.
Yeah,
they're the Undertaker, the Stone Cold, the Mankind, or they're the closest they've got to that pedigree of old talent. So in the same way, like Jericho is there now. Even if Jericho takes a loss, Jericho still comes out strong.
Yes.
Kenny, if he takes a loss, still comes out strong because they are bigger than the belt, bigger than a lot of the matches that they're a part of.
Yeah, and not just that. Even if they do take the loss, they're also helping escalate their opponents. Yeah,
totally true. So for that reason, like saying that though, I'm still unsure about All Out and whether Jericho or Page will take the belt.
Yeah,
I'm actually unsure.
Yeah.
Because
look, I haven't seen this full pay-per-view yet. I've seen bits and pieces. Obviously, I did see the Jericho attack and stuff like that. And
can't I just mention the Judas effect is still the dumbest fucking finisher I have seen in almost ever.
It definitely is.
Because it's the weird thing is I'm gonna stop and do this. So
do it.
When he does the swing, it's not the elbow that's the problem. It's the little like fancy feats that he does before he swings the elbow, and it just shows that he's a very stiff old man. Yeah, like I'm sure anybody else can pull it off without too much of a major concern. Clipping that, no worries, dude. Thanks, Dad. But that's what it is. He goes.
It reminds me of the guy from the Mighty Boosh when he's like, "I'm turning my back on you."
Yeah. The credit to like Paige and Ken, they're like, "Oh, my face." Yeah, and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it gets sold better than it gets delivered.
Yeah. So that was pretty sweet.
But yeah, in my heart of hearts, I honestly think Jericho should take the belt just because I really
just for funsies.
Yeah, just because I like him.
Yeah, I think.
I don't think he will, but in my heart of hearts.
But then again, like I would love the idea of like a heel character coming out with like the belt, because I'd love Jericho's like Titantron. It's like yes, I'm evil Jericho. What? Yeah. It's
yeah, beautiful.
Sending this to Butt. I got to chat. Because we're about to record probably a couple of days from now another episode of Some Assembly Required, one of the shows that we do with a lot of community members of the Australian pod scene. Yes. And they're like, "What's your topic?" I'm like, "My topic is how the Judas effect is the dumbest shit in the thing." And Dash is like, "No."
Aww.
Actually, I don't think that's a conversation how it went down. But that's what I was going to be my topic. That was my plan. But they're like, "No, you can't talk wrestling." Like,
aww, that goes on my. No, I'm kidding.
No. Oh no, that was no. I lied. That was for this week's Dash Culture episode. I was like, "Here's my topic." Bam. Like, no.
No.
Fuck. Yeah, no, it's dumb. What else was there? The 6-man tag with like Havoc and Janela and Alan was pretty sweet. MJF is still dope.
Yeah, MJF is so dope.
Kip Sabian got a good beating in.
Yeah, I did see
with
that.
Cody.
Yep.
Who else was there? The only one that distinctly slowed down and like, ooh, this is a tough watch, was Brandy Rhodes versus Ali.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure about that match.
Felt of rust. Saying that then Awesome Kong came out and hung around the outside. So
wait, didn't Aja Kong come out as well?
Yeah, at the end. Yeah. So at the end, like Brandy's walking out with Awesome Kong, and then the other Kong came in, and then King Kong was there, and
Godzilla showed up.
Yeah, it was oh shit, and then like that was the fight for the Fallen.
Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yeah, they went all out. Who else? Yeah, look, it was pretty tight overall. Yeah. Nothing too major. The kickoff show was cool. It was like there was a match between Sonny Kiss,
from Lynch Underground,
and the male librarian whose name I can't remember right now.
Oh yeah,
saying that though, I'm watching it the whole. That's Brandy's not a wrestler. She's a ring announcer, and not even a good one. Says Dash. Ooh, sick burn on
shots
Brandy.
Fired at Brandy.
Yeah, shots fired on Brandy. But yeah, so it was the Sonny Kiss versus the male librarian, and we're watching, and I'm like, this feels like a fucking hate crime. Yeah, like where's the line here?
This is what I love about Sonny Kiss is Sonny treads the line. Being a transgender superstar, generally Sonny does fight male superstars, but yeah, it is that very like people are like, oh, where's the line here? But it's like, well, Sonny's just a very flamboyant character.
No, I think he's brilliant.
And yeah, I absolutely love Sunny
Yeah.
Kiss. I've loved everything Sunny Kiss has done ever since the first time I watched them on Lucha Underground, I'm pretty sure. And I've been obsessed since.
Yeah. Speaking of, this isn't, this information is readily available, but Nyla Rose.
Nyla Rose is a trans superstar.
Fucking A.
Yeah, stunning transition.
Yeah,
Absolutely stunning
mushed 'em.
transition. Yeah.
And I'm like, this, she's really good. She's mushing all these little Japanese
Yeah.
women. Like, she's being mad. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, she's got that frame to like mush people.
Yeah,
It's
exactly
good.
it.
So
She's
and
gorgeous.
breaking our own kayfabe for a second here. That's what's so great about this.
Yes.
Is that because of the scripted nature of wrestling?
Yeah.
It's not an issue.
Yeah.
Like these things can exist within this world, and it's totally cool.
Exactly.
Where the likes, if you go into the likes of UFC, when you see a women's match and one of the women used to be a guy, men are biologically built different. So like there's that concern. I think it actually happened. Like a trans UFC fighter literally caved the skull in of another woman.
Oh wow.
And like, yes, she's well within her right to compete, now that she's transitioned, but there is that weird line there.
Yeah.
But with WWE, not WWE, with wrestling specifically, and AEW, like there is such a good place for them to showcase this and it not be a concern and it totally
And
fit.
I loved it straight away. First pay-per-view, they had two trans superstars on there.
Fuck yeah.
Because Sunny was in that battle royal in the kickoff.
Yeah, Nyla had the one
and
with the other two Japanese little chicks,
Yeah, so it's really cool to see that they're being so inclusive so quickly.
I
love that.
And on top of that, this is something I think we promoted this back in the day, but I want to mention it again because I really like it. So what they do, I can't remember the name of the American company, but AEW have sensory rooms. So for those. So for those who are on the spectrum, and look, I'll admit a lot of people that watch wrestling tend to be on that spectrum. Like they have a sensory room because shows can get really loud and really a little bit ruckusy, and they can get overstimulated. So every place has a spot that they can go, and I'm sure the match is there on a TV, so they can still watch it, but they can bring themselves back down and fucking zen out. And like, see, with Fight for the Fallen, they couldn't have a room, so they had a truck.
Oh, I love that.
So the company whose name I can't remember for the life of me right now.
Yeah.
Just like Killer. Yeah. And like that's not a derogatory statement because like majority of the people I know that like
it's surprising how many people are on the spectrum.
Working in that field, like there are trends, and one of them is they like wrestling, and which I'm totally down with because part of me thinks I'm pretty fucking autistic. I'm too old. I'm way too old to even go bother get tested, but I'm pretty sure. I'll let it go. But yeah, so it's like it's that there is, and I think that's absolutely spectacular that exists. Yeah, especially for someone working in that field. Yeah, it's really really cool.
I love how inclusive they are.
Yeah, the inclusiveness of AEW is fantastic. But saying that though, the title of this video is not fucking Fighter Fest, Fight for the Fallen, because I keep calling them wrong. Yeah. This is our Extreme Rules review show.
It is.
So I said, although we had our might call it Fight for the Fallen, which was all well and good. Extreme Rules also happened as well.
Yeah, the following day.
We are primarily a WWE show because AEW is once TV kicks in, AEW will be at the hands of our good friend Dash at Dash Culture Wrestling, DC Dub.
Yes.
And we've been told that we can go party there whenever we want.
Yes.
So if you want to go talk AEW, you might see us over there. So Dash is here being our dirt sheet delivery vehicle.
We'd be lost without him.
We would be lost without Dash. So we'll quickly jump into the kickoff show. Now, I didn't actually watch the kickoff show.
I did.
Because I was setting up for work and I was like, nothing important's going to happen. It's fine. And then they go, oh, surprise, there's an Intercontinental Championship match. It's Finn Balor versus Shinsuke. I'm like, it's a kickoff show. What can really happen? Pull up my phone, look at Twitter. Shinsuke Nakamura is your new Intercontinental Champion. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Landed 2 Kinshasas to get the win on Finn Balor for the title. So, all power to Shinsuke. I don't like him. I find him really, boring. He's not at all entertaining. He has, no personality, I think is what it is. Yeah, good match, good enough. I feel like it was probably more deserving of the kickoff show, but there was no stipulations on it either. So it's just a regularly sanctioned match, obviously apart from the title changing hands. Yeah, it was a match.
See, this opens a couple of things for me.
Shit-stain Nakamura. I think the exact same thing, Dash.
Yeah, I do find him boring.
Yeah.
I remember when we started watching wrestling, and it was this situation of like, who's this guy? Why should I care? Everyone's like, oh man, like he was dope in Japan, and you know he was a really cool acquisition. He won the Royal Rumble last year, like.
And he's
ew.
he's just fallen flat
But, like,
here.
why? Like I don't, because he's, you know. I watch a lot of Japan stuff, so I'm not quite sure whether how this stuff works or how it works. But fine, cool. What to me, this means two things. A, they're setting up a new feud with Finn Balor, which we'll get to in the next episode.
Yes.
And it also means that they open up to him joining the club.
Yes.
To bring back the WWE's version of Bullet Club.
For me, I do, like, as much as I hated this, I don't mind it because I'd like to see it push Shinsuke to the next level.
Yeah, give me
like,
a reason to give a fuck about Shinsuke.
Hopefully this opens up Shinsuke to do what he was doing in Japan, and this can make something big of him. We all know this title is pretty buried. The Intercontinental Championship just hasn't seen the light of day much. So hopefully, obviously it seems like they are starting to push their international superstars a bit more.
Well, that's the thing. So with, I believe it was last year, like, yeah, Asuka and Shinsuke won their respective Rumbles. So they did try to do a big Japan push. And there are some other international performers on this pay-per-view specifically.
Yeah.
So that there is,
and obviously with
that
AEW and all the New Japan stuff that they're doing as well, they're obviously trying to target that demographic too.
Potentially, yeah, very much so.
But like I definitely would like to see it sort of push Shinsuke. Shinsuke did say at some point, he was like, you know, no more tag teams for me. I'm back in this for myself. Yeah. I've got something to prove. So hopefully,
yeah, I do certainly think Finn can do better than the Intercontinental Championship. I felt it was almost like a cage. Like it put him in this place that he had to do this and that, and it didn't really work.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Also on the kickoff show was Tony Nese versus Drew Gulak
rematch. From the last pay-per-view, I think, when Tony Nese lost the title. Drew Gulak won. It was a match I didn't really pay attention. We're not too huge on 205. Crowd wanted Gulak to win, which was really cool. So Gulak did retain, proving that he is a fighting and defending champion.
It would be a bit of a kick in the butt if he like won it at whatever the last pay-per-view was, Stomping Grounds, and then
lost it again.
He's gonna win that.
Yeah, it was cool.
But yeah, so what rate the kickoff show? Those two matches, all right?
Oh yeah, it was pretty good. Like I think there was some good spots. Obviously, like during the kickoff show, they do have little video packages and setups and stuff like that. And there was this real funny thing.
Yeah, we skipped over all their setup stuff.
Yeah,
a lot of the setup stuff in the kickoff show retains
it gets carried over anyway
to just the pay-per-view. Like we're all about the long form story.
Yeah,
and the matches,
and it is always just like we're gonna beat them tonight type thing. But there was this funny thing with they were interviewing the New Day. Charlie Caruso was, and it was Charlie's birthday at Extreme Rules, so everybody was like, "Happy birthday, Charlie!" And they're like yelling and screaming at her. But the entire interview that was stacked as a totem pole. So it was like Woods on the bottom, Big E with his head in the middle, and then Kofi with head on Big E like at the top. And they spent the entire thing just talking like as this totem pole. And even at the end of it, they're like, "We're a totem pole." Like they were basically like Ralph Wiggum, like, "I'm a totem pole." Hiya, hiya, hiya. Like it was exactly like that. It was so funny. But yeah, little setups. Apparently Baron and Lacey requested time on the kickoff show to just talk about how like their match is going to end in heartache for Becky and Seth and all this other crap. I did have a bit of a laugh because Baron was like, maybe I'll take a chair, maybe I'll take a kendo stick, maybe I'll take this teapot. And Lacey's like, you are not touching my damn teapot. And I was like, that was a bit funny. She just yanks it like, nope. And then there was another one there that I don't even remember. I think there was about 3 of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, kickoff show. I only paid attention to Shinsuke and Finn, and I was pissed off about it. Especially because both matches as well, they were showing video packages mid-match in the kickoff, and that pissed me off. Like, you've already done all this shit throughout this entire hour. The 10 minutes that we've got in these 2 matches, like, just piss off with the video packages, for fuck's sake. Pissed me off. Just let them have the match, but no.
Kicking off the main show, however, surprisingly, was the tag match between Drew McIntyre, Shane McMahon, against Roman Reigns and The Undertaker.
McIntyre versus the
Graveyard Dogs.
The Graveyard Dogs, I like that.
That's what they're called.
I love that.
That's just what they're called.
McIntyre versus the Graveyard
Dogs. There's literally shirts out there, and like at the end of the match when they're like, will we see Undertaker Roman as a team again? Go look at the shirt. Like, yeah, they're going to team up again at some point for some fucking reason. But anyway, this was interesting match. So we should mention it was a no holds barred. So like there was, you know, the ability to like beat the piss out of each other. Like I don't think it's weapons, but it's kind of like you can get a bit
throw people through the crowd, through announce tables and stuff like that without causing any issues.
So I came into this match being like, oh wow, this is first. Okay, that's interesting.
Yep, same.
And then I was like, look, this is how I imagine it's going to go down. I think, you know, Undertaker's there as almost glorified backup, as he'll be standing there and just looking intimidating, doing Undertaker-y things. And the match itself would primarily be on Roman and the occasional tag with Taker to do a couple of cool spots. That's how I thought it was going to go down. No. Undertaker was totally involved.
He was on fire.
And he was fucking fast.
The fires of hell were burning inside the dead man. It was, for me, this is classic Undertaker. This is the Undertaker I grew up watching. He is super fast paced, surprisingly, like the old school, like walking across that top rope constantly, the big hits, like just, it was perfect. It was picture perfect Undertaker. It's what I wanted to see at Super Showdown, which we didn't get, obviously, but it was just picture perfect. There was like more Undertaker than anybody in that match, and it was just beautiful. Yeah,
no, it was like the second that Roman got that tag on him, and he's like, and then I'm like, oh god, and and he zipped around. He took some gnarly and some gnarly bumps. There was a part where Drew had him out. We had Claymore and had him out on the announce table. Shane did like a coast from
the elbow drop.
Big elbow drop. Sorry, from the corner post to the table,
and then the coast to coast.
Coast to coast into a bin into the Undertaker. Taker was down, dragging him in the middle of the ring, getting ready for the pin. He just fucking sits up.
He's got to hold a leg. Shane's leg. Just sits up. Shane's just like, oh shit. And Undertaker from a sitting position gets him gets the choke, like the hand around his throat, and just stands up with him. I thought that was beautiful. That's something I haven't seen in a while. And then vicious choke slam.
And then there's and then for the pin.
Yeah, it was.
No,
because a little bit further down, Roman does something, and then they set him up for the tombstone. And then right. Tombstone, and beautiful. Yeah. The 1, 2, 3. Undertaker pins Shane McMahon with the cross arm. Pin, I forget what it's called. So with that pin, there you go. Yeah, absolutely beautiful.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I love that at the end of it, obviously, like Roman and Taker did get a bit face to face. They were all up in each other's junk, and then Taker's just like, and Roman's like, and they have a little like shake.
Yeah, because there is that weird line there. Because you know when they took each other on at WrestleMania a couple of years ago, like from the accounts, because having said not watched it, all accounts it was like a blood feud. Yeah, it was like they're gonna mush each other.
And now everybody's like, is the Undertaker passing the torch to Roman?
Now they're bros.
Yeah, but beautiful bro tap from Taker on the chest, and Roman rolled out, and then Taker did that like kneel with the blue lights
and saying that though, watching him walk around that ring just before he does the kneel, and like the content on his face, like
he was so happy
after
with that.
Watching Super Showdown and seeing that look of just disdain, and he's like,
he was visibly like
furious.
He couldn't hide it.
It was like he was like, no, I did good here.
Yeah, we did good here.
Yeah, it was
this
fucking
was
dope.
A solid match.
And we should also mention a little sneaky shot there. Undertaker does the throat slash, and then Drew just comes up behind him like a cartoon.
Oh, that was perfect. He just pops up and he's like right behind his left shoulder, and it was just perfect.
It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I was just like, oh, that's a good shot. And then I'm pretty sure Drew went for something, and then got Roman got the spear on him, and that
get the party on.
Beautiful.
I do think this will lead to a Drew v Taker match at SummerSlam.
That would be awesome. I'm definitely down for that. I think those two did compete really well. They're very similar sizes. They did stand face to face, and I think Drew's like this much smaller.
Yeah.
So very similar size, very very hard hitters. I think that would be an amazing match to see.
Would be dope.
Yeah.
And then some backstage stuff with Becky and Seth. Becky and Seth talking to Sarah about some shit. The Revival versus the Usos for the Raw Tag Team Championship.
I did not give a shit. I love them both, but I've seen this match so many times that I was just like, meh.
Ooh, AJ goes, before we jump into that one, he goes, that's killer. I want Drew versus McIntyre at SummerSlam with Drew going over.
That's the same person.
Huh?
Drew versus McIntyre. I think
that would be just him going, and then he wins. He's like, yes.
He tries to kick himself in the face.
Imagine if he lost.
I'm pretty sure he means Undertaker.
Yeah.
I definitely think that if that match does happen, I do think Drew will come out the victor.
Yeah, because I think there is that thing right now. I think Undertaker has the ability to be like, I want to take on this person.
I got you, killer.
In the same way that Brock does. Brock's like, I want to take on this person. And for that reason, they get good matches.
Yes.
When he's like, I want to take on Finn. And they've got a really fucking good match.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's when that investment, and I think Taker's in that same boat right now. He's like, you made me fight fucking Goldberg. Look what happened. Like, yeah, who do you want to take on? I want to take on Drew.
Yeah.
I think I have a feeling that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Revival of the Usos, yeah, so we've seen this match 100 times before. I did like the Usos rocking nice tracky pants.
Yeah,
Nice
definitely
little
look for them.
touch. I like tracky pants.
I this is something I didn't know, which was mentioned by the announcers. I did not know that the Usos are the sons of Rikishi.
That's correct, yes.
I feel like I may have known that, but I don't remember knowing it. But that was a really cool fun fact for me. I was like, oh, yay, exciting. Like, I loved Rikishi back in the day. It's interesting to know that Rikishi had kids. Anyway.
Yeah, don't think of the physics of it. Just know that it happened.
Just know that it happened. I feel like we've discussed this before, so I think I did know this, but it just slipped my mind. Anyway, yeah, super cool to see them rocking a little bit of a different outfit. I didn't look into it. I was supposed to see if it was a nod to anything or anything like that.
It was just more of the blues of the SmackDown sort of. That's what I got out of it anyway. Yeah. Because they,
as always, solid match. Like, those guys do solid
look, as I said,
stuff.
like, although we don't care, it's just more of that. Oh, we've seen this before. Okay, cool. Surprisingly, the Revival retained.
Yeah.
Now, oddly enough, I thought they won because I watched it at work. So when I watched it again at home, I'm like, the Revival won. I thought the Usos won.
Yep.
How minimal invested I was.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was like, as always, they do put on a solid performance, but it's a performance we've seen over and over again.
Yeah, and that's the big concern.
That's the kicker. Yep. So I'm pretty sure Shatter Machine was the
yeah, I like Shatter Machine's good move.
Saying
that though, this does disappoint me personally, mostly because I thought the idea of having the Usos get the belt and they could look at the Viking Raiders, keeping that heel face going, and maybe there's alternate plans here, but I don't want to see the Revival versus Viking Raiders.
No.
That sucks. But next up, Cesaro versus Aleister Black.
Yeah, so Cesaro picked a fight with Aleister Black, and they were finally meeting.
Yeah, finally at the end of this, what was week longs complaining of it's like, like bitching
somebody
about
pick a fight with me.
Pick fight with me.
I'm the master of mind games. You pick the fight with me.
When you look into my eyes, you see a black abyss.
Yes. I love it. It was a good match.
It was fucking dope.
It was so dope. First of all, I missed Aleister Black's entrance and his theme music. It was beautiful. Killer even says, I love the match between Black and Cesaro. Absolutely phenomenal. Yep. Two equal competitors, two massive dudes, two Nordic dudes. The Dutch Destroyer versus the Swedish Cyborg.
Yeah, so that was the thing. I was like, I noticed this when I was watching it the second time. Like, I still don't understand why they put these two together. Like, what's the point? Like, why is Cesaro the one who knocked? Dumb. Hey, they're both from the Scandinavia. Yeah. Like, I'm like, there it is.
Yeah. Absolutely phenomenal match. Really hard hitting, very back and forth. Yeah. Cesaro playing mind games with Black, doing that sit down thing that he does after he pops a move and stuff like that. Absolutely beautiful.
Although there wasn't any of this big sprinkler, whatever that's not what it's called, but there was a nice move with Cesaro, threw him up in the air, dropped him with an uppercut. Spectacular. There was I believe it may have been from the top rope, Cesaro, and then Black comes in with a gnarly knee strike. Yeah. Mid-air.
Yeah. Yeah. Some gorgeous match. I absolutely love this. And I also love that Aleister Black came out with the win. Yeah, to get a vicious Black Mass for the win, which I'm stoked about because that still leaves Aleister Black undefeated.
Yeah, as a singles competitor, because it's his first singles match external to being in the tag team.
But even with that, like in the tag team, he was never officially pinned.
Yeah, that's true.
So he is an undefeated superstar so far. So that was really
and on top of that, like similar to as we discussed before about like Kenny and Jericho and stuff, Cesaro's in the same boat. Cesaro can take a loss and still look dope.
Yeah, Cesaro still looks like a monster even if he does take a loss.
In terms of the outcome of this match, was probably the best.
Yeah, there's a reason they call him a cyborg.
Yeah, next up, 24/7 championship spot with Truth and Mella, but yeah, one's post, etc. There's just some.
Yeah, so as they're doing this, Alexa Bliss walks out of a room. Must have been, I think it's a locker room, but it also sounded like a toilet. But yeah, she walks out. She's got this little pink package in hand, and Nikki Cross walks out with her.
Sorry.
You're funny.
Not really.
And yeah, Truth Truth is like, oh, like, have you seen Hornswoggle? Do you know where he is? Is he in there?
No, we should mention, he was like, hey, can you guys keep a secret?
Oh, yeah, Mel is like, no, Truth, let's go. Because, like, obviously Mella and Alexa are eyeing each other off. And Truth is like, hey, can you come here for a second? Can I ask you something?
Have you seen Hornswoggle?
Have you? And he's like pretending to hide. He's like, have you seen Hornswoggle? Is he in there? And Alexa's like,
saying that though,
yeah,
like,
second stall on the left.
the dumbest shit about this 24/7 stuff is all stupid. But like, once again, watching this at work, one of the personal support workers for one of the guys, she's not a wrestling fan at all. That gave her the giggles.
Yeah, Truth is so good at what he does, yelling in Alexa's ear.
She doesn't know who Hornswoggle is. She just liked the bit.
Yeah, and then yeah, Alexa's like, yeah, second stall on the left or something like that. And he's like, thanks. And Mella's like, no, Truth, let's go. And he's like, hey, but... And then Alexa hands Nikki a gift and she's like, hey, like, you know, we're going out there as a team tonight. I want to give you this thing. And it's a T-shirt cut up. And Nikki's like, oh my God, I love it. It's your shirt, but in my style. Oh my God. And then they go out for their match and Nikki's wearing it. And it was just dumb stuff.
Before that happens, the Street Profits rock up again.
I love those guys. Oh, yeah. They
I like the Street Profits are almost...
comedic relief.
They're almost like the narrators.
Yeah.
They're like in Deadpool. They're the guys that break the fourth wall. They
I
come
love
up
them.
Yeah. And like one of the guys is like,
about that.
ooh, like I think I want to bang Nikki Cross.
Yeah. So they're asking Alexa, like, you know, where's the party at when you win the match tonight? And Alexa's like, first of all, we're going to be co-champions. And they were like, are you serious about that? And she's like, yeah. And they're like,
she's intense.
he's my best friend, but I wouldn't share no nothing with him. Yeah. And they say something about food, and they get into an argument about why didn't you invite me to dinner? And then Nikki's like, listen, like we are gonna prove you guys wrong. Like just watch this, and she storms off with Alexa. And then Dawkins, I think they call him something like that. Dawkins, he's just like, is it weird that I want to party with Nikki?
Like,
And his mate's just like,
it
was so good.
Yeah, these guys are great, and like I think it's a good showcase for NXT.
Definitely.
I wouldn't be surprised if people want to tune into NXT a little bit because of it.
Those guys make me want to tune in. Definitely. Yeah. I look at them and I'm just like, I want to see what they do like on the regular. But yeah, it was so funny. Just the way he's like staring at her and his friends was like,
yeah.
Okay.
Then Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley in a 2-on-1 handicap match for the the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Yeah. It wasn't bad.
It was alright.
It was alright. Weird response from the crowd. Obviously,
there was a lot of issues going on in the crowd. That was Raw. That's not different. But yeah, so it was mixed emotions, I guess, in the crowd. Like some were stoked on it, some weren't.
Bayley's tan looked really bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bayley. But overall, good match. Bayley held her own really well, considering she was taking on two contenders. Obviously, constant tag outs, so some freshness there. Bayley's unfortunately on her own throughout the whole thing. She does retain the title. She gets the pin on Nikki Cross, which I thought would cause backlash from Alexa, but no. At the end of the match, Alexa was in the ring comforting her and just sort of like...
Yeah, well, our original predictions were that either Alexa or Nikki would cross each other, pun intended. I thought there would be some sort of like bull sign. Or we would get the likes of Sasha Banks showing up.
Yeah.
Now, Bayley did stand at the top of the ramp like for a while, and they really hung on that shot, but Sasha didn't come out.
Yeah.
We're all fucking bummed.
I think they're playing on something that may be coming.
Yeah, they're hinting at it, but I think she'll probably come closer to Slam.
Yeah, but no, it was really cool to see Bayley take that win to retain the title. I think it was really cool to see her, you know, overcome those odds, and it shows that she is truly a fighting champion, and she's got better than what she
would have lost to Raw women competitors. So it's fine.
Yeah, that's true too. I forgot that they're from Raw.
Next, Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley in the last man standing.
Oof. What a match.
Yeah, this is very EC dub.
There was EC dub chants throughout the entire match.
Yeah, so it started in the ring, sort of spread its way out, lots of bussing, lots of like...
Nowhere near the staging this time.
Yeah, no one blew out the stage this time, which was a real bum. I thought they kind of would have. But yeah, so it's just a lot of moving around. They went up into
the mezzanine,
into the mezzanine,
through merch.
Through merch tables and stuff, and like... bunch of chaos, and then it did eventually make its way back into the arena, and kind of what looked like those little doorways with little stairwells on the side to go to your seats. They'd set up this almost like a big block box sort of thing.
Like a staging area.
Yeah, but a staging area. So it's kind of like where you would sit a camera.
Yeah.
Like they set up these boxes to put a camera to get a specific angle on the match.
Yeah. There's like a little closed off gate there, so you can tell something was supposed to be there and nobody could get past. And
so
Braun boots the gate open.
Braun's there's a little gate there.
Through your mouse.
Yeah, it'll come
Bye,
back.
mouse.
It'll come back.
So
Braun's got Bobby in hand, throws him into this pond.
Yeah, big old powerbomb. Both of them go through this thing.
So it fucking
Referee's
exploded.
like, oh shit, and he's running up and down the stairs trying to get a look. He can't see
so
anything.
ref can't get a shot in. We can see Braun moving around in there. No sign of Bobby at this stage. Ref's on the outside doing a blind count. Gets to about 6 or 7.
Seven count, and then bam!
Fucking Kool-Aid man. Braun Strowman punches his way. He just punches you, push.
Referee like shits himself, but he's like, oh, good, it still count. He's like, hey.
But yeah, even myself, when I watched, I literally went,
exactly.
Because I was like, don't you dare, Bobby Lashley, come out here, you piece of shit.
Yeah. And then 10 count, and the crowd erupts, and Braun's just still like, whoa, like. Obviously unconfirmed. Apparently, he did have a spleen injury from the big boost through the screen. So he was favoring sort of like his ribs at some point. Whether that was just because he copped a brutal, vicious like hit to the ribs earlier in the match, or if that had something to do with that, I don't know. But he powered through that intense pain. He was clearly in. Like, you know how he always throws his arm up at the end of it. Like when he went back into the ring, he just slowly put his arms up, so you could tell he was hurting, but. Last man standing, which I was stoked about.
Very happy
Braun
with that.
Strowman.
Very happy with that outcome. It was a dude meet on dude meet action, and the best dude won.
Yeah.
Backstage section with Charlie, AJ Styles and Good Brothers having a chat about the match. They're coming up ahead.
Oh, yeah. Then they do this whole, like, they're talking about how they're going to win all this shit. And they're like, because it's too sweet. And they all do this. And like, come on, Charlie, get your hand up here. And as she goes to do it, AJ's like, no. And they just walk off on her. And she's like,
no too sweet.
It's my birthday, guys.
Next up was The New Day versus Heavy Machine versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
I was so excited for this.
This was a really good match.
I keep knocking things, sorry.
That's right.
It was so good.
It was a really good match.
It was an amazing match. There was some beautiful, beautiful hits in there.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised at how agile Tucker is. Like, for a bigger dude, he's a taller dude.
He's not like Ivar level of
but he like flipped
but
over Big E at some point. Like he jumped over him and then did like a little. Oh, it was beautiful. Like, I love Heavy Machinery and they did some great things. There was one part in there, I think, where Tucker tagged in and did something, and like I just love. Oh yeah, so what it was Woods had nobody to tag, so Big E had been knocked off the apron. He had no choice but to tag in Heavy Machinery, and he tagged in Tucker, and then Otis was just like, oh yeah. Just like, I love that he is like the walking epitome of the Kool-Aid guy. Yeah, like he really is. It should have been him bashing out that wall that Braun came out of, going, oh yeah. Like, he's just so perfect.
He's brilliant. He's absolutely
brilliant. I love them. They're so good. And what I laughed at as well is at one point he does end up getting the caterpillar on Daniel Bryan, and obviously for weeks, Daniel Bryan's been like, I'd just move out of the way, and like repeatedly he just hasn't. It's like, yo, you're all talk, Bryan. But I couldn't help but laugh at that. I was like, that's what you get.
We should mention that the belt did exchange hands, contrary to our predictions.
Yeah.
And sadly, it wasn't to the team that we wanted.
Which we knew last week.
It went to the New Day.
6-time World Tag Team Champions. I'm still getting used to saying 6-time.
Yeah.
They've done their entrance, like, they did their entrance twice.
Yeah.
Because they were on both shows this week. And yeah, both times they're like, and you're 6-time. And I'm like, fuck. 6-time.
And you're 6-time.
Every time. So super stoked for this result though. Yeah. I was so excited. So obviously going into this, I was hoping and praying that Kofi would retain, because all I've wanted to see since I've started watching again is the New Day all with belts.
Yep. And we got it.
See them. And
brilliant.
Yeah, all the gold. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it was a solid match. It was a very hard-hitting match. Obviously, Rowan at one point just cleaned house on his own. And then obviously Bryan being so agile, he was able to do some cool shit in there as well, while Rowan was just cleaning house. There was a spot there where Heavy Machinery had Rowan on the top rope. They were trying to throw him over. Big E got in.
For superplex,
and he ends up throwing both the Heavy Machinery guys down.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, like, Daniel Bryan, like, during the scuffle, pops up and tags himself in. Yeah, but yeah, it does that. And then Big E himself gets up and superplex Rowan off the top rope.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And during this, because obviously Daniel being the legal man, he gets up to goes to a big old splash on on Big E. Big E just grabs him out of the sky, fucking drops him.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. I'm pretty sure, was it Big E that got the pin?
It was.
Yeah, Big E got the pin on Bryan for the win. Beautiful.
Should mention, in the 6 times that they have been tag team champions, this is the first time the pair of Big E and Xavier have won the belts.
Ah, interesting.
The other times have been either Woods and Kofi or Kofi and Big E.
Killer says apparently Woods was teasing something with the Intercontinental Championship.
Yes, on Twitter in most recent days. Yeah, Woods has sort of been like, well, let's add a little bit of... It's almost like let's add some more fun to this.
I love it. I love how shit scary they are.
Yeah.
They are the best at that. Love it.
Well, that and, as we'll get into some spoilers, Big E had a shot at the Universal Championship this week. So they're being spread. I think they might become the undisputed era of the main roster.
I love that. They are so good. I absolutely love them.
That was a good match. Really good match. Enjoyed that thoroughly.
Yeah.
Moving on down. During this bit of celebration at the end, Paul Heyman does make his way through, grabs the mic straight out of Kayla's hand, and heads out into
they're celebrating backstage with Kofi, and Kayla goes to interview them, and Paul's like, yoink, and just storms out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, here we go. And he's, beautiful speech about how if anybody knows anything about Extreme in Philadelphia, it's Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
And the ECW chants just start bellowing through the arena. And he does the whole Brock's going to be here. He's going to be cashing in at some point tonight. But you've got to ask yourself one question. Do you feel lucky? No, he's like, am I telling the truth or am I Paul Heyman? And I was like, oh, here he goes with the riddles. What's the bet? Brock's not showing up.
Yeah, and he's like, I'll be damned if I leave Philly without being part of history.
Yeah. He's like, Extreme, we're making history. I'll be damned anyway, but I'll be damned if I leave here without being part of history, which I thought was really cool. Obviously, everybody was stoked to have him there, so it was beautiful.
Oh, as you can tell, I'm a bit emotional.
Yeah.
Next up, AJ Styles vs Ricochet for the United States Championship.
Pudding.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, I love it.
That was right. This one I don't have the strongest memory of, because this one, when I did rewatch it at home, I got up into this point.
Yeah. Look, it pissed me off because obviously being the club now, the Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson were ringside with AJ. I love him as a heel. He is a hard hitter. Sorry, I keep moving away. He is a super hard hitter. He is very, very vicious, very, very conniving. He is just nasty, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Beautiful matchup between those two. Obviously, Ricochet has stated on numerous occasions that he does take a lot of what he does from AJ Styles. He really does idolize the guy. So I think that put Ricochet at a disadvantage because, basing himself so heavily off AJ Styles' style. I think AJ had the advantage.
Almost like it was a Styles clash?
Yeah, it was a Styles clash. I think AJ definitely had the advantage. Also, having the Good Brothers, ringside definitely helped him as well. There was a bit of interference there. Unfortunately, ultimately, Ricochet did end up losing the title. And AJ Styles is now the United States champion.
So as predicted, we thought that it would work better. It would be beneficial for AJ to have the belts in order to keep the club looking strong. Definitely. And sort of validate their existence right now. And I totally agree. I do think it's good in the hands of AJ. It's a bummer for Ricochet, but I think there's something bigger working for Ricochet. You'd hope so. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely couldn't agree more. I think this is going to be really good for the club and for AJ Styles. I think, because he had such an amazing run as the good guy, I guess, seeing him run as a bad guy is just, best of both worlds. It's going to be really good. It's freshness that we need. I agree. Yeah. Next up, Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler. My favorite match of the night. Because it lasted 17 seconds. Absolutely beautiful. The bell rings, KO slams a stunner on Dolph Ziggler, pins him, and it's done. Which obviously, earlier in the night, in the kickoff show, I believe it was, KO is walking into the arena. He does get stopped by Kayla, who's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, you didn't know? You're surprised I'm here? I have a match tonight. I'm versing Dolph Ziggler tonight because that was taken away from me last week. Yep. It's Extreme Rules and, I'm Extreme. So I was really surprised when I found out that earlier in the night. I was like, oh, yeah, sick. This is going to be a good match. It's even better than I expected because it only lasted 17 seconds. Yeah. It was so good.
It was just beautiful. Like short matches like that, like sometimes they just fall flat, but this just landed perfectly.
Well, only because rather than the match happening and then everyone is leaving the room, KO just grabs a mic
and he
starts
went on his
yelling.
tirade again, and it was beautiful. Just feeding it to Shane again, just like nobody to cut him off this time, because even he said, he's like, Shane would probably have cut me off or fired me or suspended me or something, but he's preoccupied with the Undertaker, so I've got free reign. And yeah, just basically rips into him again, and it was just beautiful. I am loving this like candid, raw, like pipe bomby Kevin Owens. This is so good.
No, it was very good. It was a very quick match. It was like surprisingly quick.
Yeah, surprisingly quick. Was not expecting that.
No, not at all. Next up, Samoa Joe versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE Heavyweight Championship.
I don't know what I was expecting out of this.
I expected Joe to win.
Yeah, I think I sort of had the idea that Joe would win. Vicious match. Joe did dominate for most of it, but Kofi is an underdog and he always finds a way, which he did. He did retain his championship. Yeah, there was this vicious, like, at one point he tried to, like, Joe got him in the coquina clutch and tried to counter, so he got his feet up on the ropes, and then Joe just slammed him to the ground as hard as he could. I thought Kofi was going to go through the floor. I was like, oh, he's dead. Something's popped. Like, his back's broken. Like, it was a vicious slam.
Yeah.
But I do believe Kofi got the Trouble in Paradise for the win.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Which was awesome. I was super excited, I think, because now that means the New Day, all three of them have gold. Confirmed.
Like, so they had it before, and then it was always that risk if they could lose at the end of the night.
Yeah, Kofi could have lost it.
But no.
Confirmed win.
Yeah, so it's... I was personally quite bummed at this one, mostly because I was so positive that Joe was going to win.
Yeah.
And I want to know how many title shots can Joe have and never take one away.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
That's true. No, I think I was really happy with the outcome because I was hoping that the New Day would all walk away with gold, which excited me. I don't know. I feel like it's just time for all three of them to have. So, yeah, I was happy.
But no, it was all right. Once again, it is a sort of a repeat of Stomping Grounds.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's a little bit of a downside there. Speaking of, Stomping Grounds, and same thing again. Excuse me. Apparently, stuffy room, not a whole lot of air going on.
Yeah.
We'll have to next one with the door open. A video package for Beck, Seth, main event.
Main event of the night.
Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins versus Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin
in Extreme Rules.
In a mixed tag team Extreme Rules winner takes all
match.
Universal Championship and Raw Women's Championship match.
It's a long one. Mouthful.
Yeah.
About as big as a mouthful as Baron Corbin. I don't know.
He is the sexiest man in WWE, don't forget.
It was a good match. I think initially it started really slow, but then the minute that I believe it was Lacey first, she pulled out a kendo stick and Seth caught it in his elbow as she went to hit him with it. And he was just like, no. And Becky runs up with her kendo stick of her own and just starts belting into Lacey. And then all the weapons came out. Chairs, kendo sticks, tables, you name it. They did it. There was this absolutely beautiful spot where Becky and Seth lined Lacey and Baron up on tables, and they got up onto the ropes together. Seth on the top rope, Becky from the middle rope.
Yeah, so
Becky does a leg drop onto
on
Lacey, and then a frog splash onto Corbin.
But
over.
Clears the table and just blows apart Corbin on that table.
Oh, it was beautiful. That was awesome. The kendo stick beatdown where Lacey and Baron took the beat down to poor Seth on their own. Like, Seth was on his own, and then Lacey Becky just comes in and annihilates both of them. Was just
Can we mention
beautiful.
that time that Becky got the end of days?
Yeah, towards the end of the match. This is what finished the match. So Baron Corbin, Becky's like annihilated Lacey Evans. She's on the outside of the rings. Baron Corbin just grabs Becky by the arm, pulls her away from the rope, and just a vicious end of days, which Seth saw, and he just turns around and he goes red. He is as red as Brock Lesnar when he's breathing heavy. And it was just brutal. He just loses his shit and he just starts to belt into Corbin. He gets 3 massive stomps and ends up taking the win. Becky's outside the ring. Like, Lacey was like, once this happened, once Baron hit the end of days on Becky, Lacey was just like, oh, he's fucked up and I'm out.
Yeah.
And she just slowly started backing away up the ramp. She's like, nah, I'm done. Like, I'm not dying for you. And, yeah, vicious. They do get the win. And then...
We'll get to that in a sec. But you did mention, we forgot to mention that across Lacey Evans' behind...
Oh, yeah, she had Seth embroidered in her booty. So she had SE on one cheek and TH on the other. And this is the perfect way to start the match. Obviously, the ladies did start. And the entire time during the intro, Lacey's just shaking her ass at Seth and Becky. And they're like, oh, that's cute. And then, yeah, she's doing it one last time, like pulling up her boots or something like that. And Becky just kicks her in the ass and she goes flying out the ring. I was like, what a perfect way to start.
Yeah, I love it. That was good.
Absolutely
What do you think of the match, though?
It was like initially, like I said, it started slow and I was a bit like, oh, here we go. But the minute the weapons came out and they all just started getting vicious, it was very Extreme Rules and I loved it.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, by the end of it, I was so in love. And the way it ended too, like, I love that Becky took the end of days. I think that was a nice touch. It gives Corbin more heat, which we love giving Corbin heat. He's so good with it.
One day they'll give him the belt.
Yeah, I reckon he definitely will have a belt very, very soon. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. I loved it. What about you?
It was fine. It was passable, but as in not like in a negative way. As in, by having them come together, it allowed us to not have to see that rematch of that pair. So it kind of put what would have been two subpar matches together into one reasonably decent match.
Yeah.
And having all the other stipulations, as long as although it was a bit of a mouthful, it did come together to create a pretty decent show.
Yeah.
And I did like that part.
Yeah.
But as we should mention, once the bell rang, Corbin's down. Brock
Lesnar comes barreling down the ramp with Paul Heyman in tow, beat down on Seth.
Yeah, two German suplexes. And then he's like, cash it in. And Paul Heyman cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase for him. And then they start the match. And one F5.
F5. And Seth loses his championship. Yeah. He saved Becky's championship, but he lost his.
Yeah.
I think this was beautiful.
Yeah.
This was a really good move because obviously Seth was getting a bit old. People were getting a bit over it. Having Brock take this from him, not only does it reignite a beautiful feud, it still keeps Becky looking super strong.
Yeah, it goes a couple different ways. Yes, it keeps Becky looking strong, which is fine. This was one of those situations of Brock had to cash in at some point.
Yes.
And now feels like a good time.
Yes.
Like it feels like a good decision. It's a big pay-per-view heading into
and not just for Brock, for Paul Heyman as well.
Yeah. So, like, if the issue with, in the past was Brock is a part-time champ, when the creative director is now that guy's advocate, there's a bit of strength there. There's a bit of, they're bros, they're buds. He can be like, hey, I need you to do me a favor.
Mm-hmm. I think we're going to see more of Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman in this position of power because Paul will be able to give Brock what he wants and then he can get out of Brock what he wants. So it's a really good exchange between the two.
And saying that, though, although it is a WrestleMania rematch, considering the match at WrestleMania wasn't really a match, it was a dick kick and then some stomps, this may be an actual proper blow-for-blow match at SummerSlam, presumably.
Yeah.
So, like, although it's not the best outcome, but I think I'm starting to get Stockholm Syndrome with Brock Lesnar because I was like, ooh, sick.
Yeah, same.
That's the thing.
But so was the universe. They were like, because the entire show... Throughout the entire back half of the show, there was, we want Lesnar, no we don't, like competitive chants, like during the entire Kofi match and during this entire match. And then when Brock did come out, the crowd went wild, the roof blew up, and I was just like, yeah, it is very Stockholm Syndrome here. Like, you're like, we haven't seen him for 4 weeks or whatever more.
I forgot that he had the briefcase.
Yeah, and that's, once it comes back, you're like, oh, yeah, this guy.
And saying that, though, because that was the one thing. So with every title feud, but from Money in the Bank to now, it was that looming fear of, is he going to be there? That storyline got old fast. So now as we head towards the end of the year and then into the Mania season again, there's no longer this impeding threat. So whatever title match happens now, unless Brock Lesnar's involved, he's not there.
Exactly it.
It's a big win. What do you think of the show overall?
It was good. It wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible either. It was solid. I think the KO match made it for me. Just short and sweet, very good. But yeah, overall, if I had to give it out of 10, I'd probably say maybe 7, 7.5.
Yeah, we don't do out of 10 though.
We do our.
We do Kurt Angles.
If I gave it out of our Kurt Angles and our bars and our Triple H's, I'd probably give it a solid Kurt.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Right down the middle, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed it. A lot of the matches were although minor rematches, they were fine. I enjoyed it a lot more. There was apart from maybe the Bayley match, even then there was really nothing that made me go, oh, I'm glad I. Normally with a Roman match as an example, I'm like, well, this is where I go to the bathroom. But because they got that out of the way at the start and Undertaker fucking dominated, like when I did have to duck out to the bathroom,
you were kind of like, oh fast. Shit, yeah.
I was like, because everything from then on was brilliant. Like in terms of like pacing was solid. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I certainly enjoyed it. For me, it would be a Kurt and a bar, like a good 1.5 out of 2. Yeah, like there was what was there was good. I impressively liked the cash in. It was a pretty solid show.
Was good. Yeah, couldn't agree more.
But let us know what you thought of this year's 2019 Extreme Rules. And there's comments below. Now we're going to quickly wrap this bad boy up because I'm going to blow my nose and then we're going to record our regular show. Yeah. So the spiel Fridays 8 a.m. YouTube podcast services 9 a.m. YouTube's Patreon $1 dues.
Links all down in the description
for wrestling chats, all the stuff, shirts, other assorted shit. We'll see you in like 10 minutes.
Bye.